This is a mushroom, and an amazing one at that.
My mushroom kit. Thanks, Marvellous Mushrooms. Check it out. It's pretty dang easy. Follow these instructions. Mushrooms in a couple weeks. Cut the top off, as the instructions said. Wrapped it to tape it shut. Because I want to grow bigger mushrooms, so they suggest doing 3X's, so you'll have 3 mushrooms. But the way I get the bigger ones for the videos that we do and the huge, amazing steaks, I just do one. One right here on the side, which is X, marks the spot. I just cut slits and I'll cut, slice it, cut, yeah, just put it on a plate. And then I'll take it, a squirt bottle, and I just spray. I'll show you where I put it. I have a dining room table with a nice light, with some nice window with light in it, and it'll just sit here for the next few weeks until I grow mushrooms. And I'll spray water in it, probably 2-3 times a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once before I go to bed. This little indirect sunlight really does help it grow nicely. Anyways, that's it. Thanks again, Marvellous Mushrooms, for sending me this mushroom. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so fast forward a couple weeks, and we have an amazing, beautifully grown lion's mane mushroom. They look a lot like cauliflower, if you ask me. This is the second flush, so second growth, because usually the kits that I get have 2 flushes. So the first one I picked and did one of the other videos you'll find on our channel, and this is the second growth that we'll use today. So you'll see in the background I have in the Vitamix I had blended up the marinade, but because this is still me trying to perfect the bleeding steak effect, I did not video the making of that marinade, but I will list the ingredients I used below. It's a combination of beets blended and strained, and then I added some garlic and herbs I'd have normally used to marinate any animal steak from back in the day. So as usual, I'm going to heat up the cast iron pan so it's really hot, and then add a little bit of oil, just enough to coat the surface. Then we add the lion's mane mushroom. And now here's where my mind goes a little crazy, at least how I think about the whole process, is I like to add the mushrooms to the hot surface. And then how do I explain it? It's like how I want the mushrooms to get acclimated to the pan, to get to know each other. So I let them sit and rest before I do any pressing at all, because I want that sear to start to happen before I press it. Because as soon as I start pressing it, water's going to start coming out of it, and that is going to just water down the pan and then prevent the whole caramelization. So as the mushroom gets to know the pan, you start hearing sizzling. I mean, don't fret, like, give it a couple minutes, let the caramelization process really take hold. And this gives me an opportunity to speak about there's 5 medicinal benefits of lion's mane. I've been doing a little bit more research on them since I've been cooking them so much. They're known to promote healthy digestion, which is amazing. Supports cognitive function, so it really helps with the brain. Boosts immunity systems, which is great. Helps lower cholesterol levels, and also supports the nervous system. So there's 5 medicinal benefits. And then 5 benefits of cooking lion's mane mushrooms. They're super versatile. They have a mild flavor and very meaty texture. A lot of people say they taste like seafood, but I don't find that. I've only found them tasting like seafood when they're bad. So don't buy bad mushrooms. Try to get them as fresh as possible. But you can use these in a variety of dishes, like this amazing steaks. You can do nuggets. You can do them shredded. I've seen people do crab cakes, all that kind of. It's amazing. They're so good to work with. They're super nutritious, sustainable, low in calories, and allergen free, which is pretty amazing. Alright, now I got all that out of the way. You'll see I did the first press where I just leave the pan on top and then slightly add some pressure. What that is doing is flattening out the mushroom, spreading out the whole searing so that the surface area is seared a lot more. Flip them over. I always wipe the bottom of the pan because the cast iron pan shouldn't be wet. So always wiping that down, add it back again. And for this, I don't want to press it a lot because what I'm going to do is cook it again. So I'm just pressing it halfway, and then I'm going to marinate it. So we'll marinate it for at least a day or 2. in the marinade that I made, listing the ingredients down below. So you'll see it's probably about 1 inch thick, and I'm just adding it to what I'll pour the marinade in. Go clean out the pan quickly. Now the best way to take care of these pans is to do it right away. So I just rinse it out quick, add a little bit of oil, wipe it out with a paper towel, wipe all the dryness, spread the oil around, and this pan is good to go for next time. One of the best purchases I've ever made is using these cast iron pans. And no, they don't pay me. They're not sponsored. They're not sponsoring me for this at all. So I'm just going to add some fresh thyme that I picked up at the grocery store. Thyme in my garden isn't quite ready yet. But this is easy. I had already added garlic to the marinade before, and that's actually blended right into it. And I've already added a bit of black pepper to the marinade. So this is just adding some fresh thyme for that nice thyme flavor. Take your time with it. Get it? So I mentioned earlier, I'm trying to perfect how to cook this at home. When I cook it in the restaurant's kitchen, I have all the equipment and other things that I use, which I do not have at home. So I'm trying to do this in a way that you can recreate it at home. So I blend the marinade, and then I'm just trying to submerge the mushroom in the marinade, and I'm going to let this sit for a day or two. I'm going to marinate this for a while. Alright, so I'm just going to put this in the fridge for a couple days and we'll be back. Yeah. Alright, so I did let it sit for 2 days because I really want the marinade to penetrate. That's the thing. I've tried this from raw mushrooms. Now I want to try it pressing them first like we did. And I want the marinade to press because that's what's going to give the bleeding center that looks so good, and the flavor. Man, it's just a delicious way to cook and eat mushrooms. So heat up the pan, a little bit of the oil, season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. I didn't add any salt to the marinade because I didn't want to draw out any more moisture. I want the moisture to actually be absorbed by the mushroom. Alright, so there's a couple reasons why I press this first. Is I don't want to have to press it a second time like right now. I'm having thoughts, like I'm looking at the mushroom, I'm like, I can just use the spatula here, which is perfect. I don't want to use this other pan if I don't have to. It gets messy, it's not very easy to do at home, so if I can just press it without the marinade on a dryer, I know that works. And then with the marinade, what I did was I let it strain in a strainer for about an hour just to dry off a little bit, and then added it right to this pan. Now you got to understand there's a lot of liquid in this mushroom still, so once I add oil it starts to become a cooking hazard at home, and I don't want that much fire in my house. I try to avoid it, although it looks good. I personally love to flame up things when I'm cooking, but at home it's not always the best thing to do. In a restaurant, I'm fine, I'm all about it. So you're just going to be careful here. As soon as you add oil, that liquid is going to want to react with it. It's going to want to flame up, and here we go. I can't tell you how many times I've set off my fire alarm and the neighbors have come running, or somebody across the street or something. It's pretty funny, but I really try to avoid it if I can possibly do that. The last thing I need to do is burn down my house, and I don't recommend it to anybody. Play it on the safe side. Try not to create too much flame. This also works really well on the grill. It's just always piss and rain here in London, and I gotta get that all set up, and that'll take a day for me to figure out. But for now, we're just going to use this pan, and just the same way I used to cook animal products, I just cook the steaks the same, whether it's a mushroom, whether it was an animal before, which I do not cook animals anymore, you should know that. So now I'm just going to flip it, make sure it's nice and brown on each side, transfer it to the cutting board, and then begin slicing. I'll let it rest here for a couple minutes, and then we'll start slicing it and see how it comes out. Alright, so for the first trial at home, I'm pretty happy with this. It has a nice pink center, although it's not fully integrated like through the whole mushroom. So if you've seen the reel I did, not the reel, but the short, I did one a slightly different way where it really did penetrate the whole mushroom. So I have a little bit more work on that, but this does work. So with the marinade, I'll list it below. Give this a try. I'm super happy with pressing it lightly for this one rather than doing it marinating it raw. Just marinate it half pressed. And then yeah, super juicy. It was delicious. It's just not the perfect steak that I'm looking for, and we'll keep working on it. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and we have loads of other videos if you want to check them out. All right, see you next time.